Hey guys, it's the Metal 5, and welcome to my Let's Play of Pikmin, which I bet is a surprise to some of you, because I honestly have not mentioned Pikmin that much on this channel, but it is a series that I am a fan of, despite not mentioning that much, because I just really like sort of the tactical time management strategy thing that the whole game is focused on, and a lot of like the interesting sort of puzzle kind of things, and we're not watching the demo, because I'll explain more of that once we actually get into it, but yeah, I've always thought of doing Pikmin. I just never really thought of a sort of a good time to actually do it, but I just felt like doing something more relaxed, laid back. Yes. Well, this is a short game, I have to say right off the bat. After, there were times in Donkey Kong Country Returns where I lost my sanity, but yeah, So, of course, there isn't really much I can say really about this opening, because we say more of that once we get into the actual gameplay itself, so let's just start this off. So after getting hit by probably the slowest moving meteor I have ever seen, we end up in the impact site. My name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet. With so many parts lost, the skeletal hull of my beloved Dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for only 30 days, and I can't repair the Dolphin by then. No! Better not think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. So now we get into the gameplay itself on day 1, which is pretty much a tutorial, and we are stranded on this planet. We can't do anything, so let's just look at anything that looks interesting, like this thing. A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were sitting waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I should call this an onion too. I don't know how this looks like an onion at all. Maybe it's like a space onion, because Olimar is not human. But anyway, we gotta wait for this thing that I dropped to grow. And the glimmer of a mysterious red light mean that it must be important. The seed that the onion dropped took root in the soil, and is now produced an adorable little sprout. The sprout emits a strange light, and it sways back and forth without the benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A! My hormones as a video game character activate! Extraordinary! When I pluck the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Thinking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pikmin brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, trying to survive. And I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try and grab with A, and throw it in the direction I point. I will call it to my side with B. Perhaps it will react to C in pressing down on the D-pad while pointing as well. Following controls appear to allow me to several viewpoints. Z, rotate camera behind Olimar. Left and right on the D-pad, zoom. up on the D-pad to change perspective. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings. So now we have our first type of Pikmin, the red Pikmin, which for now the only difference they have to the other types of Pikmin we'll see later on is that they do more damage. I guess because of those pointy noses they have? Either that or they're compensating for something. Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. A small red pellet the Pikmin harvested after cutting down the flower appears to be some type of fruit that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more. So, by taking that pellet from this flower, which is called a pellet posy, back to the onion, you can create more Pikmin out of it! And since that pellet is red, it will create twice as many Pikmin as what's usually said on the number. So if we had, what we'll see later, a different color type of Pikmin, or take that same red pellet back, you would only get one out of it. And now we gotta wait for these to grow. Yeah, one thing I need to say about this first day is that it is very tutorial heavy. We won't really get into sort of like the more main mechanics of Pikmin until later on. And for some reason the camera decides to zoom really close when you're in the onion and then lock you into that distance. Alright. There is a 5 pellet there, and we have just enough Pikmin to pull it back, so that means we'll get 10 out of that, which would be amazing. Funnily enough, if you don't have any Pikmin with you, if you press A, Olimar will punch the air, and oh, I can't reach that flower. If you would have Olimar use that on, like, pellet posies, and even some cases enemies, he will actually do a tiny bit of damage to them, which is kind of funny. Although I think actually enemies will just regain the health back at some point, so you can't kill them like that. Yeah. So, I guess as we're getting more Pikmin, I can mention what the numbers at the bottom of the screen do. The first set of numbers, this 5 here, is how many Pikmin I have currently with me. So, obviously all 5 that we have right now. This is how many Pikmin are out on the field, so 10, since we got more. And then, that is every Pikmin in existence. Yeah, I don't know why they need to keep a number of that tallied up all the time, but yeah, it's a thing they do. Whenever a Pikmin is not in your group, it will change into a paler color to signify that it's not with you. I guess also to show that obviously what C does, it helps dismiss the Pikmin, and when you have other types of Pikmin, it will separate them into groups, so if you need a specific number, that's helpful. So okay, we'll have Pikmin deal with this pellet posy, and I noticed from the camera being zoomed out that there was one all the way on top of the tree past the Dolphin, which I should mention. A little bit of trivia here is that the reason why Olimar's ship is called the Dolphin is because it is that the... Whoa, okay, I thought I somehow killed that thing, and that would have been really bad. Like, oh, I managed to make a Pikmin die on the first frickin' day, but no. The Dolphin was the prototype name for the GameCube, similar to how the Switch's prototype was the NX. So, yeah, a bit of interesting trivia, obviously, because Pikmin originally came out on the GameCube, but obviously I'm playing the Wii version, where obviously you have Wii controls with motion controls to throw Pikmin everywhere. And then, now that we have 14 Pikmin with us, I don't think there's any more I can get right now. I want to pluck the damn thing! You have to wait till it fully sprouts in order to do that. It seems to take forever on this frickin' day for some reason. Alright, I don't think there's any other possible pellets I can get as of right now. I could have sworn that... But yeah, one thing I need to mention, this is actually the 4th freaking time I'm trying to record this first episode. The second and third time, I botched the intro really badly and I wanted to redo it. And the second time, I managed to get through this whole day, but for some reason my commentary just stopped sort of just skipping throughout the points, so there's just points of awkward silence. I have no idea why, but anyway, having the Pikmin march into that cardboard box by pressing down causes them to push it, since we have at least 10. The Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned about Pikmin conduct. Approach and press A to pick sprouts. Press A to grab Pikmin, release to throw. Press B to call them, C to dismiss. Press down on the D-pad and point to command and control the group. Use Z and up and left and right on the D-pad to control perspective. I shall record this in my computer and access it with plus. Olimar seems to be a video game character that seems to be fully aware that he's a video game character, how much he knows about the Wii remote controls. Anyway, we find this. And aw, in my second attempt at recording this, there was a Pikmin literally inside Olimar, and it was so funny, but it doesn't happen here. Amazing! There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the Dolphin? With slave labor, that is! Because that's pretty much what Pikmin is all about. It's basically a kid-friendly version of slave labor. Unfortunately, we don't have enough Pikmin to carry back the engine. We need at least 20. Unfortunately, there are more pellets for us to pick up here, because one thing I should mention is that just because an object has a specific number on it that you need for a number of Pikmin to take back does not mean that's the maximum. That is the minimum number. There is actually different maximum. I believe for like objects that require 20 Pikmin, I believe the maximum is 25, and I believe with 1, the maximum is 2. And the more Pikmin you have carry an object, the faster it will move. So it's, again, another way of the strong management of Pikmin. And this, I just have this one random Pikmin just follow me around. I could give him a certain name that the internet is in love with, but, well, that would be copying jokes from other YouTubers way too much, to a much greater extent than what I already do, so no thanks. When many Pikmin seeds sprout at once, I find it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks, tapping A until I pick all the Pikmin from the ground. I noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, I can't read, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. So that's talking about what I already mentioned before about the different Pikmin, changing colors when they're not in your group. Now, because of Olimar remembering his wife's nagging, we can finally get a much easier task where if you repeatedly press the A button while Olimar's plucking Pikmin, he will automatically move on to the next one, rather than pulling them all out individually. Now, again, we gotta continue waiting. I don't remember the waiting this much for Pikmin to, like, sprout in order to pluck them out, being as long in the other days. So now we just pluck them all out. We have 25, which I believe is the maximum number of Pikmin you can get on the very first day. So now we have more than enough in order to carry back the engine, because Olimar is too lazy to partake in this task himself, so he just has slaves do it for him. Go, my men! Listen to your evil alien overlord! I am the one who discovered you, and I am the one that will raise you to victory! Anyway, that's the fastest it can go, and yeah, it's still moving pretty slowly, so we don't have too much to talk about. I know that, this area isn't just merely a tutorial area. There is something that we'll need to go back and get later on. But I know on return visits there is a certain thing that is in this box, which relates to a mechanic, which you'll hopefully see on the second dimension with Pikmin. Just as a major disclaimer, I am not the best Pikmin player in the world. I am awful with my time management in Pikmin. Sometimes things that might take so quickly for one person to do can take forever for me to do. So just saying, the progress in this LP is probably going to be much slower than what you're used to, but I'm pretty sure everybody will love to see me suffer and suck at this game, so yeah. And I just find it so weird how the Pikmin dance when they bring something back to the ship. They, like, twist their bodies all around like a contortionist. And somehow bringing an engine back just causes the whole goddamn ship to light up. Oh, glorious! With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. What has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. And now we instantly go to the end of the day animation, which is more important for all the days after this one, where the Pikmin will return to their onion and Olimar will go into the Dolphin. Because one thing you need to know about this planet is that most of the animals are nocturnal and extremely dangerous and active at night. So we can't stay on the planet's surface at that time. One day since impact, I have somehow managed to launch the Dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The Dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return to my family on planet Hokatate. Analysis shows life support systems will function for only 29 days, and I can only speak properly for so long. How can I repair my Dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible and there's the keys to my survival. I'll name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow. So at the end of each day, you get a bit of a chart showing how many Pikmin you've sprouted, how many you've lost in battle, and how many you've left behind, which those last two don't matter because you can't possibly lose Pikmin on the first day. So we just gotta go up, and we show how many ship parts are left, how many days remain. As long as you get like one ship part per day, you should be fine, but knowing me, I'm probably gonna have so many days where I do fuck all. And now that day is complete, we go to the world map on our second day and unlock the Forest of Hope. So, even though this episode wasn't very interesting, we will get more into the sort of the main Pikmin mechanics in the second day. So, next time on Pikmin, we will enter the Forest of Hope in an attempt to find more of... No, I'm not going to land there yet. In an attempt to hopefully find more of the ship parts for the Dolphin. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know you're enjoying this, and I'll see you guys next time.